Hi, Charlotte. So it's on air now.
Hi, nice to meet you.
Hello.
So please tell us about yourself, what you do before, and how you get to this civil tech.
Okay, so I'm Charlotte. I'm one of Vox.org co-founders. I'm 31. I graduated from La Sorbonne, and we founded Vox in 2012 for the next presidential election in France. And I'm really happy to meet you guys in like 1 month.
Yes. So is the global civil tech community actually bringing impacts in your opinion?
Okay, maybe I can just introduce a bit Vox.org to explain my thought about that. We created Vox.org back in 2012. Actually, we were a bunch of young people, and all the young people in France back then were not really interested in politics. And there were no stake for that election, and all the debate was centered around those new wars, and the guy who won, whose name was Nicolas Sarkozy. And so we decided to create a simple comparison tool, and the aim was to bring back the debate on their proposal and what would they do when they will be elected. Our motto back then was back and begin small, because it's easier to address a small goal. And I think the impact will be the key to measure what we all do in the next year. It's really difficult. Our goal at Vox.org is we already have 14 countries and 3.5 million users, but our measurement assets will be we want to reduce youth abstention for 10%. I can't hear you.
So, yeah, sorry. So you started Vox in 2012, and so I see another, like you say, about 15 countries that joined to use this platform for their comparing the candidates in their elections, right? So, like, which countries had the elections, and like how many people are the scale of users before election happened in their country?
Okay, I think now we've reached something like 3.5 million users, and the two last countries are United States, of course, United States for the presidential election like 1 month ago, and we'll just launch another country, which is Peru, which the first round of the presidential election was 2 weeks ago, and on the way to do that, but we're on the way of launching Philippines, because it's got a really huge stake there. And every time we Vox is open source, all the code is, everyone can jump in and use the platform and use the website. And we build communities in every country that just want to use Vox.org, and we help them.
Cool. So yeah, I see there's like you can now compare the candidates in the U.S. and so like on perspectives such as economics or education and business. So who create those candidates? Because I see there are like a link of the source to the official platform, yeah. And so you get the community to contribute to collection of that.
Yeah, of course. It's all copy and paste from the official platforms. In the case of the US, we partnered with The Tempest, which is a Millennium blogs, and they're really great, and they did all the job of copy and paste the program. So it's all official and crowdsourced and neutral.
So everyone can submit a platform for a candidate.
Yeah.
And people will provide a source or tell that's not valid.
Yeah.
Cool. So yeah, we actually have something quite similar in Taiwan during our last election, comparing all the candidates with actual platform from either their official website or their media statement, and who just actually I think draw quite a lot of attention trying to compare the candidates in actual platform. So I think that's really cool, and we should have known this earlier, so we can collaborate on this.
I would love that, definitely.
So Vox is I think from the website I see it's planned not just to be a election tool. I see there are
no.
about Media Watch, right? Can you tell us about that?
Yeah, we just launched recently a newsletter which is called happydemocracy. The fact is that back in 2012 we were the only one in the civic tech field in France. But since 1 year or 6 months, there are many really great things happening on the civic tech scenes in France. But no one knows about it. We are like a bunch of 100 people who are interested in that field and knows about all these initiatives, but the greater public doesn't have a clue about what's happening on that scene. So we just decided to create. The vision is to be the civic tech media in Europe, and we just begin small because we're not crazy. So we begin with the newsletter, and the idea is to bring back all the events around the civic tech scene, mostly in France and later maybe in Europe, to the greater public, so they can go in and jump into the events and the meetup and all the events that are just happening in Paris right now.
Okay, so how do you
just launched it like I think 1.5 months ago, and we have like almost 1,000 users.
Cool.
Yeah. So
if you want to sign in at the moment.
Sorry, you're saying?
If you want to sign in, you have to. It's happydemocracy.com.
Yeah, but it's a French newsletter, is it? Or is it English? Or
yeah,
French?
We're gonna since I think we're gonna translate it in English like in 2 or 3 months.
Okay.
Cool. So how do you see the civil tech in the future? In your opinion, is the global civil tech community really brings the impact to government everywhere?
It's a tough question in 2 minutes. I make a difference first between GovTech and Civic Tech, which are really different for me. Actually, I think our biggest challenge will be funding. To be independent, and that's why we just won the French chapter of Google Impact Challenge in October 2015.
Wow.
So we are like quite happy with that because we're funded for the years coming. But I think the biggest challenge will be funding to keep our independence and to scale what we are doing now. Because I really believe in the business model for all our initiative, but this business model has to be virtuous, you know. We think about a long time of what we could do on all the data we had on Vox.org, and we decided that we will never sell it because it would be like a treason for all our users, and it's not our ethics. So I really believe we have to find some revenue sources. We have to find business models so that all our initiatives could last for the years to come. And the other challenge we have to face Sorry?
Sorry, no. So to sustain independently, right?
Yeah, that's it. And I think the other challenge is to address the greater public. Actually, it's really cool to be there, but I don't know how it is in Taipei or in UK or United States. I don't know that well, but in France, the civic tech scene is like 200 to 1,500 people, not that much, you know. And we wouldn't do anything with only a few guys. So our biggest challenge, I think, it will be to address the greater public. But the politics field is the only field in the world, in the economy, that didn't have been digitalized yet. So
the public.
To do. Couldn't hear you.
Yeah, that's great. So, CEO, do you have other questions?
So have you checked out the program agenda from the g0v summit? Are you?
Yeah.
Particularly interesting to you, or like people you particularly want to meet?
Yeah, I want to meet you guys first, and thank you for all the organization. No, I'm really happy to come. Just book my tickets like. Not really good. I want to meet you and many thanks for what you do. And I think I mostly want to meet Miguel Arana, de Madrid, Spain. I'm really happy. And I'm really eager to understand and to dig in his experience at the scale of a city. I think it's really interesting to have an experience at the level of a city.
Right,
and
especially
not small city. And I'm really happy to hear your Prime Minister.
So yeah, so in addition to the conference program, there's also a half-day on conference on the second day. So I think there are lots of people will be interested in working with you to see how we can bring Voxter to the Taiwan elections and more.
I'll be really happy. I'm here for that.
Fantastic. So thank you, and we'll see you in Taiwan.
Thank you guys, and see you in Taiwan. Bye-bye.
Bye-bye.
Ciao.